Welcome home, neighbors.
Welcome home, neighbors.
Hello, neighbors.
We're listening from
Arizona,
Florida,
Maryland, New York, New Jersey,
Indianapolis,
California,
Utah,
Michigan.
Iowa,
Massachusetts,
Georgia,
Canada,
Our home resort is
Animal Kingdom,
Polynesian,
Bay Lake Tower,
Old Key West,
Riviera.
Boardwalk,
Aulani Resort.
Hilton Head,
Boulder Ridge, Copper Creek.
Grand Clermont.
Well, welcome home, neighbors, to episode 48 of the Community Hall Live podcast. Right now, we're streaming from my MacBook out here at the beach in front of Ama live at Aulani, and I have Scott Kaufman with me. How you doing today, Scott?
I am doing fantastic, Chad. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for the hospitality. And I'm in Hawaii at Aulani. Can it be worse?
I'm telling you, right? I mean, people ask you how you doing, and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm here. How do you think I'm doing? Like, you want to say that,
on
right?
top of that, right?
Well, we're working.
We are
We're
working.
Right?
That's true.
We're making this a legit tax write-off. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it wouldn't be a legit tax write-off unless we do some live streaming and some stuff like that. But anyways, I wanted to welcome for the first time to the show. A couple weeks ago, we heard your daughter on the show, on the Father's Day show, in the main podcast. Everybody, this is Scott Kaufman. He is with DVC Resale Market. He is a former Disney guide, and you grew up here on Oahu, right?
Yeah, it's literally, as we were saying earlier, a chance to go home. Proud University of Hawaii graduate. My mother got to come home, spend a little time with my mom. We have a home here in Honolulu, so yeah, home away from home.
Yes.
Different meaning for me when I'm here at Aulani and Honolulu, for sure.
Awesome. You know what I forgot to do, Scott? I forgot to get our live cam going. So I'm going to be getting that going. I'll have you tell everybody about your little background as a DVC guide. How long were you there? And then when did you come over to the dark side, or I guess the light side? Because I think you save people a lot of money on the resale side.
Yeah. You know, I certainly have heard that before, but I had the good fortune to be recommended to work for the Disney company. Oh gosh, I think it was about 12 years ago, by a friend who was a former longtime guide and just left, and our children were classmates. I never dreamed I'd be working for the Disney company, let alone timeshare, but it was a blessing. Extremely grateful to have worked for the company, worked for Disney Vacation Club. I had a great opportunity to ultimately work as one of the DVC cruise guides and presenters, and I think I was there for about 4 or 5 years. And you know, when you spend 100 and some days on a cruise ship, as I did, it sounds glamorous. It's one of the best cruise ships, as anybody would know. It's Disney, but it's not as glamorous being away from your family and working out as hard as we did. And had the opportunity, thanks to a brilliant former DVC colleague at Disney, the founding entrepreneurial genius Nick Cotton, with DVC Resale Market.
That's like a regular theme. You guys go on the cruise ships and just get burnt out and then come over to resale.
Yeah, and I mean burn out. I mean, we'd work, it was 60, 70 hours in a 7-day week.
Got it.
Giving live presentations, working hard, hustling, and just really representing Disney and this great club. So there's a lot of stress involved in that. You know, you're not eating well, you're not sleeping well. And yes, we did get to travel around the world. We got to see some beautiful places, but it's nice to be home.
You can only go to Cozumel so many times before it's just like, okay, been here, seen it, done it.
Yeah. After a while, Cozumel, the Cancuns, all of those. My trip to Cancun was just staying on the beautiful ship, honestly, and just enjoying some good food in the pool. But
Scott,
but that's my story.
Okay, cool. I think we have our Aulani cam going, and I'm going to unmute this. You might hear a little bit of feedback. And let me come back in and add the string.
It's kind of like David Letterman, right?
Yeah. Right. Okay. So go ahead and take us on a tour, Scott.
Yeah, this is going to be your $1 billion tour, because this is extraordinary, one of the finest resorts ever developed. And I'm going to just take you around, and then how do I know when I need to come back?
Just come back in a few minutes.
Okay.
Maybe hit the pool, walk around it or something.
Sounds
like
good. I'm going to go show you some of this beautiful Disney Vacation Club Aulani, a Disney Resort Spa. So that is the Ama restaurant, the fine dining restaurant that is now closed. And as I tool around here, this is one of the main reasons why folks come to Hawaii, of course, and Aulani. This private, peaceful oceanfront lagoon. It's on the southwestern coast
of our main island of Oahu. We call it the leeward side, or the dry side. And it's actually one of 4 man-made lagoons in this huge master plan community that was developed as Ko'olina. So you often hear Disney the location is Ko'olina. And I tell you, today was actually spectacular. I want to get out of here because I'm from Hawaii. "40-year saw an endangered seal." And up there chilling. He obviously loves dinner. And there is a lone monk seal, because you don't see this too often. And if I can get out here, I don't know if Chad's okay with this, because as I said, 43 years from Hawaii, there's only about 1,500 monk seals still. It's a little in the distance there. I don't want to go too far, but I'll walk down the stairs, then I'll come back up and show you the spectacular view of Aulani as you're coming back from the beach. But I think I just need to get back on StreamYard here. So hold on here, because my live cam went off.
Hey there, Scott. Yeah,
Chad
looks
here.
like video cut out on us on that. So we're
We'll
just going to have you
see that
on back.
seal if I'm still
We'll
alive.
just move to our Q&A session.
I apologize. I am not the tech wizard myself.
Okay, then. And when Scott comes back, we'll come back over to this.
All right, Chad.
Remove.
Technical, I accidentally blacked out. I didn't know if we were
Oh,
still
maybe
live. I
it's-
just hit the button and then,
Maybe
You
it's
know.
looking for my face.
so I apologize there. We needed Gina.
Yeah, without
Okay.
Gina,
Well-
we tried to do something
Yes.
cool. We got a little bit. I think we might have saw a little bit of the seal there.
I don't know if we did. And then of course I was about to show him the spectacular view coming back to Aulani, which we can do that later if you like. But
Yeah,
in
we'll
the
probably do
meantime, you
another.
got to see the beachfront lagoon, right? Was it-
Yeah, we got to see it. That
That's
was a
certainly
little
one of the
bit there.
highlights. It's certainly more of a highlight, I believe, than the Hawaiian monk seal. And all, with all due respect to the monk seal.
Yeah. So so Terry we'll just move into our Q&A session here. So Terry wants to know what's the best way to get from the airport to Aulani.
Wow. Number one, hope that you have a rental car,
Yeah.
because there is a rental car shortage on the islands right now, and that's serious. At least, I was over in Kauai for a couple days before, and there were no rental cars. Couldn't find a taxi. Now that's different because it's a lot slower there. So the best way to get from the airport to Aulani, I often, it's an easy drive.
It's not bad. What is it? 25, 30 minutes?
Yeah, 20, 30 minutes. And really the best way to get there is really only one way. I mean, remember, this is a
Yeah.
small island.
It's a small
And-
island. There's one road.
Yeah.
There's literally one road. And if there's a fire or an accident or something, you're kind of hosed. But I would say rent a car.
Yeah.
Because, after 3 days of the pool, the lagoon, the beach, you're ready to go explore some other things on the island. And if you have to take an Uber everywhere you go, that's pretty expensive. So for us, I think our whole trip was under $700 for 8 nights and technically 9 days with a rental car.
Wow. And that was with
Yeah.
I think that there's been some surcharges. The rental cars all over the mainland too, because
Yeah.
my daughter graduated from college a month ago, and I had to drive a car to bring her back from school after she graduated. But definitely get a rental car without
Yeah.
a doubt, because as you said, there's so many things that you can do, and kind of, I hate to say it, but you can get tired of the setting and the scene, and there's some fantastic excursions within a 40-minute drive.
Yeah, there is. Like the Gold Plantation, 25, 30 minutes. You got planes going by all the time, which you will see. We got photobombed by a surfboard too.
Yeah, hey, I mean, hopefully it was a Disney-esque photo bomb.
Yeah, right. Nice little happy wave.
But great question. I would highly recommend Paul
Yeah,
to see Hawaii besides just Aulani.
right. Sure. Absolutely, absolutely, right. So I'm kind of looking through the comments here because I don't have Gina to throw the next question for us. This is why we really need Gina. This is why we love her so much, and she's so awesome. Can't say enough great things about her. And so Roxanne was saying we had dinner right here at Oklahoma and Sunset, which we're still, what? Sunset's like 8 o'clock-ish, so we're still 4 or 5 hours away.
We're 3:30, 3:20 local time. 7:30-ish.
Yep.
The gorgeous full. How was the full moon here? Yeah, it was the last great full moon of the year, whatever they call it.
Oh, really? I didn't know
2
that. I
nights
didn't
ago.
see it.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I think it was the strawberry moon. The local forecasters were calling it. I don't know.
Okay. And then Gina was saying hello to Scott. This is Gina. Sorry, we just missed you. They're about ready to board their plane.
Oh.
They're still tuning in.
Yeah, sorry I missed you. Safe travels home. The other home.
And then Caleb wants to know, does Aulani Take the Lead as your favorite resort? As far as standalone resort, I'm going to say yes. There's more to do here, more offerings here. The resort was done by Joe Brody, so it's just at a level that like no one else can really hang with.
And
I think you, Scott.
well, and I think that was the purpose of Disney trying to create something like that. I got to be honest, with me being from Hawaii, notwithstanding, is it the Take the Lead? It's got to be one of the top 2.
Okay.
Only because what you just said, Chad.
Yeah.
This setting, this property is so special. I mean, I had the good fortune when I worked for Disney. I had the good fortune to help open this, and I tell people that lagoon. I hope you got to see behind our, over our shoulders, one of 4 man-made lagoons now, but they do have original roots. In the resort over here in front of Aulani, this is how special this place was.
Okay.
Over 150, 100 years ago, a lot of people didn't realize we had a monarchy in Hawaii.
Yeah.
King Kalakaua, Queen Kapiolani, Princess, Kaiolani. The king and the queen and the royalty would come to the southwestern coast, Eva, for their recreation, rejuvenation. In this lagoon over my shoulders, that has since been refined. That is a fact.
So I'm like, if the former king and queen of Hawaii vacationed here, you gotta say something for the joint, right?
And then
you gotta say something, right?
Joe Rohde, one of the most brilliant Imagineers. I love Animal Kingdom because that's a vacation away in itself.
Okay.
And as Chad reminded me, much like Animal Kingdom, which how Joe put so much authenticity and integrity in Disney in really creating an experience like you're in Africa. Same, same feeling here with all of the artwork, as you said. What did you tell me about the Aulani?
It's got more authentic Hawaiian artwork here than any place else on the planet, right? It's the collaborative mecca of authentic Hawaiian artwork throughout the lobby, throughout the resort, the design, everything about the place, right?
And which is what I love Animal Kingdom. I would tell, a lot of our friends and viewers might know, but at the Jumbo House, that is the largest collection of African art in the world on display outside of the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
So same feeling here.
And they just opened up that African American museum there not long ago. It was grand opening on one of my work trips to DC not long ago. Just a couple years back. But anyways, Marianne wants to know if you're bringing young 20s and teens, what activities would they enjoy at the resort? Obviously, pool, beach, slides. The luau. The luau was really, really good. We thought the food was a little meh, right? And we thought the kids' meals was better than the adults.
Okay. Did you do the Paradise Cove? That's the famous.
No, we did the one here.
You did Disney. Okay, so
we did Disney.
And I haven't personally done the Disney luau or the famous Paradise Cove, which shares this property. But Marianne, I think Chad gave you the teens and the young 20s great suggestions. You're going to learn how to. There was some great. This is a great stand-up paddleboard place. That's one of the most trendy things now. So you can. So this is a very safe place to do some of those.
Those are about $45 an hour to rent one of those.
Okay.
And I was looking at the sign. I did not do that because I'm not spending the $45. Just no, I'm good. Right.
But that's certainly something to do.
Yeah, that's something to do. I mean, and then within a few years, you're going to have a world-class water park right next door, because the folks over at Atlantis are building right next door.
Right. So, I forgot about that. That has been talked about, and it's happening. The well-known developer behind the Atlantis brand is spectacular.
Yep. So that's happening there.
And I'll tell you, I have a golf course background. My folks at DVC Resale Market know. But if you enjoy golf, maybe this is Coalino. This is the host. This has been the host for many years for LPGA Tour events.
Yeah.
So this is some fantastic golfing.
Fantastic golf right across the street. We can see it. We can literally see it from our balcony.
In fact, I had
one of the holes.
One of my great new members. I just helped with an add-on after just joining the club 2 months ago.
Okay.
I told him I was here. He goes, "Oh, Scott, I love that golf. I didn't know he was a golfer."
Yeah,
so a lot of things to do here, not to mention elsewhere.
And then, okay, so Sam wants to know, what's the current restaurant situation? Everything open and full menu? No, Ama is not open. It's really questionable whether they'll open it back up at this point in time because there's a serious, I mean, the main clientele for this resort is families. And so you've got the most restaurant space dedicated to super high-end restaurant, and it's also beachfront with everybody walking by from the other places. So I think they might be able to make more money if they were to downgrade this to a quick serve or something along those lines and be able to sell it like that. So, I could get it in volume.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't know why it's been closed. I'm still trying to learn, and I have a cousin that has been one of the original employees here. I don't want to be respectful, but it's really unknown. But I'm wondering, do we know, Chad? Is it because there wasn't as much volume or business, or
there might not be that for high end? And then the other part is if you do come here and you're here with a bunch of kids, it's right next door to Auntie's Beach House where you would dump the kids off for babysitting while you have a high-end dinner, but Auntie's is closed.
Yeah.
So maybe this and Auntie's will open up at the same time in conjunction with each other. That's my other theory.
I was wondering if it was COVID influence or was it just lack of business influence. But you're right. Oceanfront setting is spectacular, and it's not open. It's a darn shame.
Got it. Okay, let's come into some other questions here as well. So Rudy wants to know, any word of a special celebration for Aulani's 10th anniversary this August?
Wow, great question, Rudy.
That is. I haven't heard a word of that.
Wow. You know what, Rudy? Here's the celebration. The state of Hawaii. We just opened up. And good news to all those that want to come home here. Governor Ige just 3 days ago said, if you're coming from the mainland and you're vaccinated, you do not need to go through all that negative test, very special safety Hawaii protocol. So that
was a bit much.
Yeah, it was a bit much. So the celebration is that we're open here. I mean, but I haven't heard of anything specific.
I have not either. Roxanne wants to know, did we do the North Shore food trucks?
Wow.
And my wife's a little hesitant on food trucks. So we did Killer Tacos, which is a full-blown kitchen. And then we did Matsumoto Shave Ice, which was phenomenal. I thought the Aulani Shave Ice was really good, and then I had that. And now I'm just like, just save it for North Shore over at Matsumoto's.
I've had Killer Tacos. That's a great place.
Yeah, that's a great place.
And you can't go wrong anywhere on the North Shore.
No.
Food trucks, Matsumoto for dessert, or the Killer Tacos, a highlight in itself to go there, for sure.
Yeah, and then, let's see. Caleb wants to know where I would rank the slide in the DVC catalog.
Yeah.
That's the number one slide. That tube slide is the best slide. The darks one, I just don't care for it. It's not tall enough for me to sit up in. So I tried a couple times. I hit my head, so I can't sit up in it. It's slow. Then at the very end, it speeds up. But I just don't care for the dark slide here. That's one of the worst, paired with one of the best over there with that tube slide. Because you can do it 2 people, so I got to do it with my kids. And so that was.
And is that is the one of the highlights of what we call the Waikolohe Valley?
Yes. And the Lazy River.
And the Lazy River,
And the Lazy River is pretty nice.
I haven't been on every lazy. Well, there's not many have a lazy river, but it's when you're looking out at the ocean and at least you can kind of see and smell it and maybe hear it. That's pretty special lazy river.
Yeah, that certainly is. Okay. And Terry just makes a comment. Beautiful. Rudy says Aulani. I don't know how he did that, but with the emoji. Sandy, did you look through the keyhole of the chest near the boat in the lobby? I did not, Sandy, so I will have to go do that.
Is that the boat that we looked at?
Yes, one of the boats that we looked at.
Okay.
And Roxanne was saying that Paradise Cove Luau was a blast.
Yeah.
Go early, enjoy the activities. And
Yeah, I would, as a backup, if you can't get into the Disney one, or if you've already done Disney, Paradise Cove is one of the classic great luau shows in Hawaii.
I was telling my wife we should walk over there.
At least walk, yeah.
And then, I kind of looked at the price, and they're probably 150, 180 bucks a person, and I'm like, yeah, peace out, right? Like I already spent what, $1,300 to buy us and the whole team that came the luau.
Wow.
So
That's I hope the entertainment was.
yeah, I mean we don't pay our volunteers very well, but if you come with me on a trip, I tend to pick up things like the luau this time, right? So that was a great thing we were able to do through all of the Patreon support and everybody else that contributes to the show. So we did get Gina some form of payment this trip, her and her spouse, and Vicky and Shannon as well. Well, not Shannon wasn't here then, but I did pick up the three of those for the luau, and thank you for all the Patreons out there that did that.
It's very nice, very nice. And not only as educated as and I mean this as anyone in the world of DVC, resale, whatever, very enlightened and thoughtful.
We have to take care of people, right?
Team here, and that aloha spirit. Here we are in Hawaii. It really is. And you bring it to your team and all of our supporters.
So Caleb saying, what activities outside the resort do you recommend for each age group? Toddlers, elementary age, middle school, high school, single adults, young couples. Ooh, that's a long question, Caleb. So there's a water park coming next door. There's Wet and Wild down there. I think that can handle your younger ones, maybe your high schoolers. And the Wet and Wild has one of those surf machines at it as well, right? Where you kind of have to.
I haven't been there. Years and years and years. But I would be. I wouldn't be surprised they have one there, because that's the trend. Mm-hmm.
And then really, it's kind of beach and everything else. And I haven't taken my family yet over to. We still have to try to get tickets to go over to the Arizona. And that's what I think is kind of required. And I've pretty much said it's required. So hopefully Laura started to get tickets at 3:00 today when we went live. I'm hoping she had some success. Yeah, we'll find out.
I would agree. Pearl Harbor, the Arizona Memorial. And what I say about, the toddlers, because I had toddlers and little kids, and now they're, my little princesses, as I say, are now 21 and 19. But the good news, some of these things, the little ones can maybe fall asleep in the nice air-conditioned car or the stroller while we're doing some of these things that really speak to the older kids, maybe. And
but I'm going to be completely honest with you. On weekends here, Caleb, the locals come here. Because this water park beach thing is so phenomenal, it's like a little staycation for the locals. So there's a lot of locals that buy resale points and just book Friday and Saturday for a little staycation. So, I wouldn't try to go outside the resort to entertain those guys.
No.
But you've got world class here. You've got character meets. You've got the Menehune Trail. You've got the Menehune Bridge for the little ones.
Hopefully, Auntie's Beach House has got to reopen. That's
Hopefully, Auntie's Beach
That's clearly a COVID thing, I believe.
But I think there's enough for them to do without Auntie's. But I think if you throw Auntie's in, it's game over.
Well, allow some other things for some of the older kids to maybe go out and go learn stand-up paddleboarding. Great little walking around here, an excursionary day trips, just to explore the different lagoons.
The turtles next door, right?
Or the other big building next door, and the turtle, So that's a fun little trip in itself. A little excursion, just exploring the Ko'olina area.
Okay, and then Marianne says, "Is there any nightlife for those of us who are wild and crazy?" There is zero, and I have a little bit more insight on that as well. Because most people that are coming here are coming from an Eastern time zone. And Hawaiian, this resort, they roll up the sidewalks at 8:00. They kick you out of the pools, the hot tubs. It's all down. The pool bar closes at 8:30. And then the Oleo room, did I get that right?
Yeah. Olele, the Olele room.
Okay. That closes at 10 p.m.
And that is the really cool... it's a bar.
Yes, but it's a bar that's Hawaiian word themed.
Yes, it's very experiential because everything in there, the art and the motif is Hawaiian words. So they teach you the Hawaiian language in there. You've got a view of the beautiful lagoon out here. If you're sitting outside, great place for a cocktail. But you're right, they roll up the Disney Aulani
there's
shades
nothing
here.
There's nothing.
But that's why Disney chose to be here. And obviously there wasn't as much land and left out in the Waikiki area. Waikiki is it's a different vibe. So if you like nightlife, Marianne, I always highly recommend spend another day or two in Waikiki before you go home, just to get a taste of our big city life, but still some interesting touches of Hawaii.
Yeah, there you go. Right, and then Rudy was saying, did they still have the special DVC drinks at the Oleo room for happy hour?
Wow.
Yes, they do. Ooh. And you can order it outside of happy hour as well. But I know when I ordered it this time, I did not get the disclaimer, well, it'll be full price, and I didn't look at the deal. But in January, they weren't discounting it. I think they might be discounting it now again. It's like $8 for a drink that's kind of an amaretto based. And very, very good. It's probably one of my favorite drinks in all of the DVC bars.
Wow. I'm not familiar with that. I've never had that here. So
yeah, really good stuff. Really good stuff.
And I'm guessing that a DVC resale member would not qualify for that Olele cocktail Aloha Spirit. Or
they don't ask. They don't check.
Different here.
They don't check.
Okay.
They don't check. But I mean, I was rocking I don't have it today because I cut it off, but the wristband where they do check your blue card to give you the sparkly wristband. And then the other thing that was just kind of a weird deal is staff's inconsistent. Like we took Sandy's advice with the refillable popcorn bucket. Free refills for blue card members.
I love my popcorn.
And so I sent my 15-year-old down there to get a refill, and she had her sparkly bands on, and they demanded her blue card. And she's like, I'm 15. I don't have a blue card.
Right.
Mom and Dad got the blue cards.
Yeah, good point.
And, she's just like, well, I need this. And they just kept insisting. And I mean, I was like, well, I can dump the popcorn out, and you can keep the popcorn. Just give me back my bucket, and I'll come back with a blue card. This one time, and I'm like, what's up with that? Just
doesn't sound like it's the real Aloha spirit.
It doesn't.
There.
I'm like, it's 15 cents a popcorn, guys.
And
like,
it's just, the world's just now starting to open up. I think we'd be a little more lenient on the blue card.
You would think, right? It's just like 15 cents a popcorn. Come on, lighten up, right? But I mean, that's been to be real honest with you, that's the only negative thing we've had to say on this whole trip. And if that's it, getting hassled over a blue card for free popcorn, I think we're doing pretty good.
I mean, you were hassled in Hawaii, overlooking this beautiful lagoon. And,
right? And I mean, it wasn't even me, because I could have showed them the whole blue card thing. But anyways, anybody else have any other questions for us? If not, then I'll kick back over to the next part of this, and we'll just come back in. But before we do that, Scott, tell us how people can contact you, the services that you offer.
Yeah. Well, certainly, first I would like to say we greatly appreciate, Chad and his entire team and the support, My DVC Points. So if anyone has any further questions or wants any insights on Aulani or Hawaii in general, feel free to please always remember me. Scott Coffin. I live in Orlando now. And you could find me on our website, DVCResaleMarket.com. That's our website, DVCResaleMarket.com. We have a great team, as many of you might know. Every single one of us trained and worked for the Disney Vacation Club. But check us out online. Follow us on our various social media channels. Thank you. And actually, it's Scotty with a Y, so we'll have to get that fixed. They will not be able to email me at Scott@DVC Resale Market.
They ought to give you both, right?
Well, yeah.
There we go.
There you man, you are good. Who needs Gina?
I need Gina. Don't bite your tongue.
But you just pulled that off. That was impressive. But yeah, Scotty@DVCResaleMarket.com. It would be my pleasure. And grateful if I can help you in any way, but just to talk Hawaii, talk DVC resale, and the value. If you're looking to maybe add on for the first time with resale, how it blends, and so there's my email, and of course
all of your questions, DVC. Right, we do very few Q&A things here because I really want you guys to contact them for Q&As. That's just kind of my style and the way I handle shows. So if I'm not with them, I don't like doing Q&A sessions because I really think they're the best place to go to get the Q&A answered and that kind of a deal.
Well, we, again, extremely grateful to have this opportunity to share what we all are passionate about and know so well in a different way. And Yes, please. Always feel free to reach out at any time, and be my pleasure to be your guide.
Okay. And then with that in mind, I think I'm going to say aloha to everybody. And is that the word for goodbye too?
It is.
Okay.
Aloha, hello, goodbye, I love you. Everything, it's that one of those words that has that multi-dimensional meaning.
Okay. Well, aloha, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you found something in today's show that'll help you go out there and plan something magical for your family.